You are listening to KC Sports Network, the #1 podcast network for today's Kansas City sports fans. With former players from your favorite teams, informed perspectives, and former insiders, this is the place for you. KC Sports Network is proudly presented by Emprise Bank, your partner in possible.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the KCSN Defensive Film Breakdown, brought to you by the Derrick Johnson Defend the Dream Foundation. I am joined, as always, by two of my favorite former Chiefs, Derrick Johnson, linebacker, and defensive lineman Mike DeVito. Fellas, the Chiefs are coming off of a very convincing win going into the bye. I know you guys have gone through this multiple times before. Tell me what that feels like. Tell me how you keep that intensity going, keep those good vibes going all the way through the vibe, all the way through the bye there, DJ.
Well, you know what? Going into a bye, you always want to go out with a win. You always want to win, obviously, but being able to go into the bye week on a good note, get your body healed up, evaluate yourselves, figure out what's going on that you need to fix individually and collectively as a team. And I tell you what, man, that was a very, very impressive man, and didn't start well, but just letting people know, hey, we're the Chiefs, man, and it was just big boy status. And man, I'm just impressed from offensively, defensively, coaching staff. It was a sight to see.
Yeah, no doubt. I couldn't agree more with you, DJ. I think just to reiterate one point that you made that I think is really important is obviously going into the bye week, you want a victory, especially when you lost the week before, right? So you lose 2 games in a row and then hit the bye week. That's just a mental disaster right there. I mean, the beauty of, not having the bye is you turn around and you go right back to work. So if you get that W, you go right back to work and you get ready to flush it the next week. You lose going into the bye week. Not only does the bye week now suck, but you got to think about that loss,
You have to freaking watch that film over and over. You know how a loss is, Mike. When you get a loss, it's like, all right, we got next week. We watch it. Boom, that's out. Short-term memory. Boom.
Go. Let's go.
So when it's a bye, it's like, okay, when you lost, it's like, oh man, here we go. The whole freaking week, man.
Terrible. Just terrible.
Well, the DJ alluded to it. The defense played pretty well. Obviously, I say the word splashy, and I mean that in the best possible way. You allow a few yards, but you make the plays when you need to make them. And so this week, we're going to kind of take a look back at not just what happened with the 49ers, but what Steve Spagnuolo's done with his cover zero looks. They've been very, very impressive. It's obviously something that Spagnuolo uses offense. We're going to dive right in here. This is a play that we're all familiar with. We actually covered this a little bit earlier this season. It's a 100-yard pick six on this particular play. But I want to skip forward here a little bit to take a look at the end zone view of this, because I think the thing that people think about a lot when they watch a lot of these cover zero blitzes, you just sit in the house and you hope somebody gets through. But Mike, I'm going to start here with you as a defensive lineman in this. And I'm sure Rex Ryan had plenty of cover zero blitzes that he had you guys running. When you're doing that, it's not necessarily your job primarily to get back there and try and rush the passer first and foremost, right? You're trying to create lanes for other guys to get through, like Willie Gay does on this play.
The worst thing you can do in a cover zero blitz is get off of what Rex Ryan used to call your train tracks, right? So there's a direct line between you and the quarterback, and you are staying on that line. And regardless of what happens in front of you, you stay on that line. The worst thing that can happen is you have a guy in a zero blitz, a guy try to move out or go somewhere else or just drift a little bit this way or that way, because now you're cutting off what could be the free man. And so it's just imperative on these blitzes that everybody stay in their lane and you're 100 miles an hour straight ahead. Because somebody's going to come free. Somebody's going to come free, and you don't want to be the guy that cuts him off,
Absolutely.
Yeah. When Mike starts saying it, I just start smiling and just reminiscing. Like, there's a coaching points. When it's zero, everybody's on train tracks. You just have just what it is, and somebody's going to be free, but you do not want to be that player that's anticipate, oh, well, maybe if I drop out, or maybe if I make a move this way. No. This right here, somebody's going to come free and somebody's going to make a big play, but we don't know who it is, but everybody has to stay on that train track, especially defensive linemen and linebackers that's up on the line of scrimmage, and you never know, they can, and sometimes, I mean, I just remember this now. I got fussed at by a coach. I'm on my train track and I feel like they're about to block me. So I'm kind of like, kind of mosey in there and not really going. And they turn me loose. And I'm like, oh my God, you have to go. I mean, everybody has to go. And it's a great defense. I mean, you really have to be prepared for it. You got to play man-to-man defense when you play zero blitz, but we got the young players that's doing a great job right now.
DJ, didn't we have variations of the zero blitz where if you guys were engaged and were obviously blocked, that then you would drop back out into coverage?
Absolutely.
So
what that is, Craig, I'm extra. I'm stealing. I'm being an extra coverage guy.
Right.
The center's turning to me, so he has me. I go engage him. Boom. Everybody else got their deal, and he's only blocking me, and somebody else is going to get free. Now I pop out last. Right. I'm not getting there, right? Because the center turned away, and I didn't pop out quick enough. But I went in, engaged them, and then I think it's called a coffee, whatever.
Coffee house. It's a coffee house blitz.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Boom. And now you get the free guy. Now I pop out and I'm reading the quarterback's eyes because it's all about him. I'm popping out late, and believe it or not, I've had some interceptions on it. I've had some tip balls. It works.
Well, and
go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh,
Mike.
I'm sorry, Craig. I bring that up to that other point that you had brought up, DJ, about how, there were times where you kind of slowed up, and I remember because you thought you were getting blocked. And I remember a lot of times younger guys doing these different variations of that zero blitz where you had that coffee house, they would kind of be anticipating that they were going to get blocked and they would drop too early. And they were actually the free guy, It was like, no, you got to go, baby, go.
Oh my God.
So that kind of dovetails right into this play that happened against the Colts a little bit earlier, and it kind of goes to what DJ's saying there, that you're going up and you're engaging that blocker. You're getting him to sell out to block you. You're occupying that man so that somebody else can get free, and that's exactly what happens on this play. If you'll watch George Karlaftis here at the bottom of the screen and Justin Reed, George Karlaftis is actually going to peel out of this. You can see he's in man coverage on the running back here. But this tackle is going to stay with George, and that opens up the interior lane. And because, like DJ's saying there, Justin Reed coming downhill aggressively on those tracks, you get free, you get a shot, and you force a missed opportunity by the Colts here.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we used to do this, and I was actually Justin Reed right here, but we would do this on our own with Tomba Ali and Justin Houston. What happens? The offensive line, they're counting. They're saying, okay, they're counting out the bigs who they have, boom, 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 and they know we have the back. The back is responsible for us. But if we can get the outside backer or the defensive end to rush where the tackle's on him, and then the running back knows that I'm not blitzing or whatever, then he's going to actually take him, and I'm going to be free because the tackle doesn't know. The tackle thinks, oh, I have that outside backer or that defensive end. And this is one of those plays where you see it so much, but you have to hit it quick. This is all about timing right here.
Yeah.
DJ,
it really is.
Oh, I'm sorry, Craig. I might be delayed a little bit on my end, and I'm cutting you off. Forgive
You're good,
me.
man. You're good.
DJ, you know what's? Correct me if I'm wrong, but it almost didn't. Like, I feel like when we ran zero blitzes, it really looked like a zero blitz. Like everybody was.
We were lined up in there. It was like
I know this one. This like when you played this, Craig, I was like, that's not a zero blitz, but it is. So it's like you can see he like Spags is, the way he disguises it is really well. Like, so we talked about those train tracks. If you look at the defense we ran, DJ, if you look back at the 2-eye and the 3 technique, we would be tilted in like this. just so you knew, like you'd be tilted in towards the quarterback and you were following that tilt. And DJ was right there. I mean, there was somebody in every gap. Like this just looks like a normal. This is normal. It starts with a normal 4-man front. Well, I guess. I mean, it looks like pressure, but it doesn't look like a zero blitz. Man. That's pretty good.
Now, what really works on this, what Spags is doing, the play clock is going down, and then he's okay. It's 6, 7. Then he comes into it. Now, their play and their protection is already set, and the Chiefs is just. I mean, they got their mind made up, and this is awesome, man.
You know what I think we used to do? I think we would make, there were defenses that lined up looking like it was zero, but then they ended up being coverage. And so we showed it right away. We showed it
like Favre and
that's right. That's right. And then it was a 4-man, and it was just a 4-man rush.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well,
that's
you have to, right? Because that you're like, oh, well, it's zero. It's like, well, maybe not.
That's right. Okay.
I
have never seen it like this.
Why were you guys doing it to Favre specifically? Did you remember anything in a tell or anything like that?
No. What you talking about? No, not to Favre. Sorry. That was the play call. Yeah.
That was the name call.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Bledsoe. We had different calls. Yeah.
So Favre, you would line up in zero, and then what it was, Favre was, you wanted to come from the field. So you'd have a fish hook to the field, and what you were trying to do was get the quarterback to flush away from the field. So the fish hook to the field.
Yeah.
You'd have the 3 technique would be bull rushing. The nose would pop out, and the backside end would jam underneath. And what you were trying to do is sort of jam everything toward, force that quarterback towards the boundary, and then that nose would wrap around towards the boundary. So you were trying to force him to go one way. So like I remember Russell Wilson wasn't as good rolling out to his left compared to his right. And so we would run Favre to get him to have to roll out to his right.
Gotcha.
And Craig, we got different calls. Bledsoe, that's for
boundary.
Right.
It all correlates. But this is Spags got he's got something working here.
This is cool. This is a cool way to do it.
Yeah. So
this is like news to me, Craig. I'm like, wait a minute, you can run zero like that without showing it?
Yeah, I mean, he drops out from it all the time too. Like this, he does.
Why the running back didn't, pick up? Maybe it was late and they had to. I don't know, but this is great. I would run this a lot more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we're gonna go to one where maybe it didn't work quite as well. Now this is Tom Brady back here. This is a good Bucs offensive line. He's shifting protections. He's moving this around like this, and you're going to see a very similar look here where Frank Clark is going to end up on the running back here, and Brady's actually able to take advantage of that. I know you saw Karlaftis out in the flat in this last one. You see Brady take advantage of this, and the offensive tackle this time picks up the little guy on the blitzer, and that allows Brady to roll away here and get to Fournette out in the flat. Now, when you see it coming this way, you can just kind of tell. Tom Brady knows that's coming. He knows the timing of it.
Perfect at
I know. He really is. But this is the risk, really, of running a zero blitz, especially against a guy like that who's going to be able to have that kind of timing, find those matchups so quickly and exploit them so quickly. Mike, you faced him all the time. This just has to be, just watching him just going, oh, man, I mean, what are we going to do on this play?
So we played them. I can't remember if it was the playoff game in 2010 or the regular season game, but I was with the Jets, and we ran this defense called dime spike. And you'd have it was in our dime defense. You'd have a 4-man front. I was a 3 technique. You'd have a wide end, and he would rush wide. I would spike in and get the attention of that guard. The backer would come right off in between me and the end, and then I dropped out and replaced the backer in coverage. But the idea was the blitz is going to get home.
Sure.
It didn't get home. And I had this same thing, but with Danny Woodhead, and I'm Frank Clark. That play went for 60 yards before somebody finally got the guy. But I mean, Tom Brady just knows, this is I just feel like he just knows. I don't know how he knows, but he knows.
Yeah, Mike, that's so funny. We always remember, believe it or not, we make so many good plays over our
I don't
career.
remember any, DJ.
We remember every bad, like the bad ones where you like, oh, I busted on it or whatever. But again, just what Mike is saying, Tom Brady is just this is why he's so good. For him, most quarterbacks would stay right on the spot where he is.
Right.
But he knows the blitz is coming or whatever, and he goes that way, and he's just making it hard for the blitzer to get in that B gap to get to Tom Brady. But this is good, and it makes it harder when the back really releases really flat and hard. Frank cannot, really engage that tackle so that tackle can move out more. But I mean, this is hard to coach right here. That's a great play by them.
You know what's frustrating too, Craig, is somebody's giving it away. Like he knows, but it's very hard to see who it is. Like this, like again, I wouldn't have known this was, in the zero blitz category. You know what I mean? So, but like he knows right now what he's going to do.
Yeah,
and he's got to tell on somebody.
Well, back in the day, we never used to blitz Tom Brady. Like when I played back in the day, we just figured, you know what? He's so good. We're gonna bring more than he can, more than they can block. But he's gonna make the right decision. So you know what? We're gonna drop 8. It's just what it is. But he's a little older now, not playing as well. But this still tells you that he still has the juice
mentally. Yeah.
And the frustrating part about this is the Chiefs do get a free man here. It just happens to be Carlos Dunlap, who's out here on the edge. He's the free
train
man.
tracks.
Train tracks.
Can't bow at all.
Yeah, and so because of that, I don't know that he gets a hit on Brady or not, but you
know what? Why is Brady moving that way? Because he knows who's getting turned.
Yeah.
The right side's getting turned loose, so he's like, no, I got to move this way.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's the risk you run with that. So now we go to this week, and one of the biggest plays of the week, there was a ton of them for the Chiefs defense. This is coming right after a Sky Moore fumbled punt. 49ers get ball in plus territory here, setting up. It is 3rd and goal here, and the Chiefs are once again going to bring a zero blitz. And you guys can kind of see this is a very similar formation to what you saw before. Nick Bolton spiking the A gap here. You've got a player, a safety or a defensive back that's basically sugaring the B over here, and you're going to see once again the Chiefs bringing the house here. That's Go right ahead.
Was this DJ? Was this a call that I can't even remember where we would call it. Would we call it down here in the?
I don't.
Is this a spot for it?
We would. I don't know deep, but we would in the red zone for sure.
Yeah.
But you see here, it's actually Karlaftis and Juan Thornhill off the top edge of the screen here. They get the pressure. They actually do a decent job of picking this up enough, but Karlaftis actually beats Trent Williams up there, and Jimmy Garoppolo has to float this pass.
Well, and Craig, and going back to our original point, like all of these clips we've watched, somebody different has come free, right? So that's what's really unique about this defense is you just don't know. You just don't know who it is. And every clip we've seen, it's been a different person. Whereas a lot of blitzes are designed to get one person home. This blitz, it's like we don't know who's going to get home, but somebody will get home if it's run, correctly.
And
DJ, go ahead.
Yeah, everybody has to be inside leverage. When you have zero blitz, when you have coverage in the back end, you have to play inside leverage because that's the easiest throw, something quick across the middle. And I got to tell you, Mike, you didn't catch this, but I'm, being a linebacker, they turned the running back loose. So that was
they
one
did.
of those things. Yeah, they turned him loose, and you got an all-out blitz. The back either has to stay in, or if he comes out, the quarterback needs to hit him. You got to hit him right now, just right now. But at the same time, Jimmy's not as good as as Brady.
Yeah. We actually highlighted it here. He's coming out of the back here. Yep, absolutely. He's wide open.
Brady would have got that.
Yeah, I know. When you send everybody, it's a gamble. But I like my chances down here because nobody can run past me. I don't care if you got Tyreek Hill out there. It doesn't matter.
Mhm.
Like you can't run past me because we're deep in the red zone, and
Right.
you gotta make a quick decision, and we're better in a crunch time right now.
Well, and DJ, what you talked about here, you got Nick Bolton that comes up here, engages the center, and then drops out a little bit. He's
Yeah.
got a little bit of a spy out there trying to take away that throw. Now, I don't know who's supposed to peel off with that back. I don't know if that defensive end's supposed to peel off there. I'm not sure what the call is here. I don't want to speculate for sure, but as you talked about earlier, engage and drop there. You're not going to get to the quarterback, so try and take away a throwing lane.
Absolutely, and he's doing a great job. You definitely got to engage. You don't want to come out too quick. I'm telling you, because I've done that before. You say, oh, you just touch him a little bit, and then he goes and blocks somebody else, and you're like, oh my goodness, like the other guy's like, I was supposed to be free, but you didn't engage your guy. But again, Nick is second year player, but he's a freaking veteran, man. I love what he played. Whatever. And right here, George supposed to come inside? Let's see his technique on.
I know. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's supposed to come inside.
I why he did that. What would you tell him, coaching point, Mike? Even though Trent went down some, what would you still tell George on this play?
I would still I would still say he has to be more tilted.
Yeah, you got to smash. You got to be thicker on him, just because you want your guy 22 to get the sack.
Right. You see, like you can see, he gets off the football and then he has to bend in. There should be no bend, right? It's like it is a direct line between you and the quarterback. So he should be at least, I bet you, if he runs this correctly, he's head up, he's running through the middle of 71, 22 is right there. I mean, Garoppolo has even less time if he runs this correctly.
But this is a rookie. This is a rookie minor mistake. This one of those things. I've done that, right? It's like, oh man, that guy didn't really kick out, coach. So I didn't on him. It's like, no, here, you got to remind players all the time. This is a great coaching point. I'm sure George is a smart player and he's able to do whatever. So and next time they run this, he'll be on that guy.
Hard. Yeah, it's a unique technique. That's a weird way to say it, but it's not something you do all the time. You know what I mean? So especially for the young guys, it is a learning curve.
Yeah. I think the term for this week is going to be train tracks. I think we just need to title this one train tracks there.
That's right.
All right. That's going to do it for our Cover Zero look this week. We will be back next week, talk some more football with Derrick Johnson, Mike DeVito. Please, please, please click the link down below there for the Derrick Johnson Defend the Dream Foundation. Donate a little money his way. We'll keep doing this for you guys. Fellas, really appreciate you joining me. Everybody who's watching, listening, wherever you are, be kind to each other, and we'll catch you later.